welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Tom, I don't like it when you
When I talk like this.
Yeah, because you think it's like this kind of radio voice
A
thing.
radio voice.
There you go. That's your radio voice.
Hello, Tim. I'm here with Tim. Tim, how was your week?
What was that?
That was a foghorn.
What does that have
An
to
air
do
horn.
with your radio voice?
Well, if I had a radio show, I'd have an air horn.
Okay. My week is going fine. It's St. Patty's Day, and I celebrated.
It's St. Patrick's Day, don't you know?
I celebrated by going.
Half our audience just turned this off.
No more. They turned it up 30 seconds ago. As soon as they heard your radio voice.
Yeah, they remembered, I can listen to the radio instead of this.
Yeah. Why listen to these jocks aren't even shocking.
Well, a lot of people only listen to this show because they live underground. They can't get the radio.
You can't get the radio underground, huh?
No. A lot of mole men. A lot of mole men tuning in.
Tom, the streets.
Half our audience is Irish, half is mole men.
Tom, you're really doing
International mole men.
Okay, enough, Tom.
They claim no country as their own.
They just
They're so far underground you can't even,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think.
If you live miles underground, you can't be like, I'm an American. No way, man. You live too far underground.
But what if you're stuck in a well? Is that how they get away from? How the government's like, I'm not saving your kid from the well. He's not in America anymore. That's not my jurisdiction. That's mole man territory.
I mean, it'd be a good way to escape the law because I don't think mole men extradite.
That's true. So you bring somebody to the bottom of a well to murder them. Or to gamble. Or you play Texas Hold'em down at the bottom of a well.
No, I'm saying you kill somebody, then you jump in a well to run.
But then you have to stay there forever.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier than tricking somebody to coming into a well with you.
I don't know, man. If you tell them there's a Texas Hold'em
No, but
game
here's
down
the thing.
there.
You kill somebody. It's not that there are no rules down there, Tim. You kill somebody down in a well, and then you come back up to try and live your life. Joke's on you because America does extradite to the mole men, though.
Throw you right back down that well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I don't know.
It's part of our treaty with the mole men.
Keeps everybody.
Hey, it's gotten us this far. You
Yeah.
know, everybody's fine. The truce remains intact for now.
How are you this week, Tom?
I'm good. The weather's nice. I feel like we're
You
actually
said
getting.
you had something to talk about.
No,
You're just gonna talk about the
I was
weather.
gonna get into it, Tim.
All right.
I was gonna say the weather's nice, so I've been walking outside, and get this. I still don't have much to talk about, but I saw a guy the other day. How often, when you're walking down the street, do you want to grab a purse and run?
Never. I never want to grab a purse. I'm constantly living in fear that somebody will think
Is gonna grab your purse.
that I'm trying to do something like grab a purse.
Good. That was a test. I don't either, but I did see something where
Have you ever wanted to grab a gun, though?
a police officer's gun, yeah, every time.
Right? It's a good thing they keep them, like, clipped in. I mean, it's a good thing for everybody, but
Yeah.
that they keep them, like, clipped in the thing.
It's hard to grab it out of a holster unless you're
Not that I would do anything
Right.
with it, but I just once in my life want to go, ha-ha!
Yeah,
Right? Like, no, I have the upper hand.
yeah.
Like, in any context.
Well,
it doesn't necessarily
or-
need to be menacing someone with a gun.
Or, I mean, it would be a really funny thing if you were behind a cop and you got the gun out of their holster and then you tapped on their shoulder and you were like, did you drop this? And you hand them the gun.
Yeah, but then that you'd be like, you have to be my slave for life.
Yeah. Or else I'll tell the other cops what happened.
Yeah,
That you
breakfast
dropped
in-
your gun.
Breakfast in bed for all 2016
Yeah,
officer.
And back rubs.
Yeah.
20 coupons for free back rubs.
Take the garbage out every other week.
Do the dishes. No, so it wasn't that. I saw somebody walking with one of those like cell phone, like an iPhone wallet case, and they were talking on the phone, and I'm just looking at them. I'm like, well, there's the phone. The phone's valuable. And then there's a bunch of credit cards and cash with it. I could just grab that one thing and retire.
Yeah, you can retire that the iPhone alone.
Yeah.
That'll net you 400 large on the
Mhm.
black market.
On the dark web.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about getting one of those phone cases that you can put your credit cards in?
No, absolutely not. I keep if I lost my wallet, half my life would be ruined. If I lost my phone, the other half of my life would be
Right.
ruined. Never. I keep them as far. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the president and the vice president and Air Force One.
Yeah,
my
they can't be
jeans are
together.
Air Force One. Yeah.
My jeans are Air Force. You mean no? Because
No.
your jeans are like half of like your left pocket's Air Force One, and your right pocket's what the naval
Marine one.
No, Marine one is still what the president goes
Yeah,
on,
that's
but it's a
true.
helicopter.
Well, they're both the president. They're both equally important. And
the,
Tom,
the Naval Observatory, that's where the VP lives, right?
sure, but he rides on Air Force Two.
I don't think he can take the plane.
No, a different one. He can't be on a plane ever.
Tim. Biden loves Amtrak. He takes Amtrak everywhere.
Yeah. Caboose 2. Caboose 1.
No, it'd be
He rides in the caboose. He's not fancy.
no way.
I'll just take the caboose.
No, Biden rides up in the engine and wants to see everything. Wants to see how
He wants to sit on the conductor's lap and wear the hat.
Yeah, and
Can I pull the whistle?
yeah. What does this switch do? What does this switch do? What is it? Sit down, Mr. Vice President.
I like by just being like a nice, semi-relatable guy.
Yeah.
America's
America's dope.
Yeah, just like, hey, he's like a 5-year-old idiot, scumbag too. He's a scumbag sometimes also.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the actual idiots are the ones that were like, he's got a lot of good ideas.
I don't understand where you're going with that.
Anyway.
So you didn't rob.
Oh, no, I did. No, I didn't rob them. But I was thinking about getting one of those iPhone cases with the credit cards because I'm like, that's nice. Then it's only like one thing to carry.
No.
But
Because
it
then
is.
you lose that one thing, your life's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
It would be very freeing, though. Don't you think you'd be like, well, I could start a whole new life now.
Yeah, I can just run away.
Nothing
Finally
tying
move
me
to the
down.
woods. I don't think I'd ever be able to adjust to not having checking my wallet every time I leave the house, checking that it's there.
I don't just check my wallet whenever I leave the house and my phone. I check it at random points. Like, if
to
you
make sure there's no money missing.
No. My wallet and my phone. I keep one in my left pocket, one in my right pocket. I'm not telling you which is which, Tom.
That's gonna be my
I
next
know. I
question.
know.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
gotta
Some
keep it.
things gotta stay in the
Yeah.
vault.
Somebody right now is taking notes, and they're like, "Oh, damn it!"
Tap
Planning a big heist.
tap them both every once in a
tap
while
'em
and
both. Give them a tap.
yeah, but all the time. Like, I don't understand these people that like. My lovely girlfriend does this all the time. We get to a restaurant and she like throws the phone on the table, or at some point, like it's not like her thing. Like if she checks it,
Yeah.
she'll just leave it out or whatever, and she'll be like, "I'm going to the bathroom." And it's like we're at a bar. I am not an attentive person.
Right.
I would barely notice if like somebody came in here and like stole you, because like I'm looking at Twitter all the time.
Right.
I'm not gonna notice some guy comes by and swipes your phone. Just gonna leave your phone on the table in New York City, the big city.
I don't think we've talked about this on the show, but we've definitely talked in real life about how we're both people that do not put our phones on tables.
No, it's nuts. 'Cause somebody could just walk by.
Not only that, Tim, somebody could spill something on it.
Yeah, it's fine.
What do you mean that's fine?
They're pretty much waterproof. They're
Yeah.
not gonna advertise it, but they know.
Yeah, they're pretty like spill resistant.
Right.
Like they can't be submerged, but like if you spill something on it, it's pretty much okay. But I still know people who have like had their phones ruined because they got wet. I'm like, oh, what happened? They're like, oh, I was at a bar, I put it on a table, and spilled a drink on it. I'm like, well, why? You're lucky somebody didn't run off with it.
Yeah, I mean, who wants a wet phone? Yeah, I wouldn't try to
Not
steal
after
a
it's
wet
wet.
phone. You
Yeah, if it's
slip
wet,
right out of your
fine.
hand.
Yeah, you can't put it in your pocket. You gotta leave it out to dry.
Yeah.
But Are we just like neurotic about like
Everything I am, yes.
that just everybody's got out for you all the time? Like not out for you, but like people are going to try and steal your things or like ruin your things or ruin it by accident.
Remember that time we went to London to do shows?
Yeah, and you got all your stuff stolen.
Yeah. Like once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah.
I think I'd be stupid if I was cavalier about my expensive electronics in a bar again.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, so you keep it in that right pocket.
Maybe. Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe it's possible. I'll tell you one thing. It might be.
Tim, do you know what this week is?
Spring break.
Yeah, spring break.
It's not appropriate for people our age to be talking about spring break.
What do you mean it's not
Because
appropriate?
that just makes you a leering pervert. It's
Not-
like, hey, college kids, I'm cool like you, right? Let's go be scantily clad in the tropics together.
Oh, so you're saying I shouldn't go on my vacation to the tropics?
I think you should wait until the end of spring break.
Well,
You
then
should
there
go.
won't be any co-eds, Tim.
Tom,
You-
you shouldn't be hanging with co-eds.
Well,
They're young enough to be your grandsons and granddaughters.
it's spring break for all the kids. Well, it's like spring break for like actual kids too, like elementary school.
Yeah,
and
but that
grade school
doesn't
and
really
high school.
count.
There are high school kids that go on spring break nowadays.
Yeah, Richies.
Yeah, Richie Riches.
Oh, a bunch of Richard J. Riches.
I didn't hear about that until I was in college, where people were like, yeah, well, I went to, Cancun last year. And I'm like, what do you mean last year? We were all in high school last year. And they're like, yeah. It's like, what?
Oh, that was going on even when we
Yeah,
were in
yeah,
high
yeah.
school?
Yeah.
Not in our school district.
No, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't until I went to college
You know
and met
what?
other kids.
High school kids are doing a lot of different things. Do you know about these promposals? These kids, you ask somebody to the prom, you have to like coordinate some like multi-$1,000 flash mob and like rent limos
Tim,
and
flash
stuff.
mobs are free.
Not if you want to get the professionals.
Yeah. Well, everything has to be done on the internet for kids nowadays.
But like, could you imagine? How did you ask your prom date to the prom?
By having my girlfriend break up with me before the prom.
Okay.
And then I was in charge of the prom because I was class president, and I stopped planning anything, and we almost didn't have a prom.
Who'd you go to the prom with?
Stag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
So
went
you tried
stag.
to just be like, I'm not going to go to the prom alone. I'm just going to,
Nobody can go to the
through
prom.
negligence,
Yeah.
try to make the prom not happen at all. You were the president of your class? Is
Yeah.
that- okay.
Yeah. It wasn't that I was intentionally trying to make it not happen. It was just that I lost interest in it. It wasn't like a sour grapes type thing. It was just a like, well, I don't care about this anymore.
Right.
So I didn't really.
I wasn't going to get to slow dance with my main squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stopped doing stuff for it, which was like fundraising type stuff to lower the prices of the tickets.
Right.
And then the tickets were astronomically priced for individuals because of that.
Right.
And I forget how I like passed the buck. I blamed somebody else for it and was like,
I bet it wasn't convincing at all, but like it was what, second half of
yeah,
senior year where you don't care about anything.
No.
Yeah. You're like,
No, I think it was probably more of a like parents were mad at me.
yeah, so what?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't care.
I don't care about your peers' parents, what they
Because
think about
like
you.
they were the ones that would have to fork over the cash.
Yeah. And how much could a prom ticket really cost?
$600.
Wow.
No, it wasn't that much, but it was I think like years prior, the cost was like negligible. It was like almost nothing.
Like $20. I
Yeah.
think I paid probably $20 to $40 for my prom
I think
ticket.
ours were like 60.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
These parents weren't mad at you. They were mad. They were like, no, I know what goes on after the prom.
Why? What goes on after the prom?
Drugs. drugs and sex having.
And also, like, for some reason, I coordinated. Were you at my prom?
No.
I coordinated, like, a limo, and I don't know why. I already
Did you
had to
just-
do the whole prom.
Wait, did you take the limo alone?
No, it was with, like, other people.
Oh, okay.
But again, like, I had to coordinate it. I was in the limo alone. Like, and I was, like, super paranoid about, like, us getting in trouble because, like, I'd had the fear of God put into me by the limo driver,
Right.
like the owner driver. of,
You
like-
should have gotten a scumbag. We always got scumbag limo drivers. They were
Yeah.
great. Like, do whatever you want back there. I won't watch. But I think he was watching.
Yeah. I gotta get a limo driver soon because I know this has nothing to do with spring break, and I will get back to spring break. But I've got to plan a bachelor party coming up.
Yeah, you don't need a limo for that.
But like we're going to a couple of places, so like I'd rather there be a designated driver type
Okay.
thing. Not like like a limo bus type situation.
No, like a stretch Hummer.
Oh man, maybe.
Maybe Arnold will be driving it. He loves
Maybe,
Hummers.
yeah, you never know. But anyway, spring break.
Wait, hold on. Final question.
Yes.
Do you think your girlfriend broke up with you
Mm-hmm.
because your promposal was not elaborate enough? You didn't get like a hot air balloon and like 600 people doing the Thriller dance.
I mean, I'll never know now. I didn't do any of those things.
Let's
so
get her
it's-
on the phone.
It's fair that that might have been the reason.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There was no reason that you should have tried to cancel the whole prom.
Didn't try and cancel it. I just lost interest.
Okay.
Back
Back to spring break.
to spring break. So
We're focusing not on, we have a week off of elementary school.
no.
We're taking the family down to Disney World where it's going to be the most crowded it's ever been.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. Listen to my Magic Kingdom Park podcast for more information about this. How if you go at more off-peak times, you have the park to yourself. I won't give it all away
That's,
just yet.
little life hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they probably don't jack up the prices as much like the hotels and stuff, right?
Well, I'll tell you this, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sneak peek of my Disney Parks podcast. They just started dynamic pricing. So
How dynamic.
well, it's pretty dynamic.
Surge
judging-
pricing, it sounds like.
Yeah, surge pricing is
Yeah.
all it is. It's on like weekends and like weeks of vacations.
Yeah.
Spring breaks.
Mm-hmm.
They
Jack
jack up
it
the
up.
prices by like $20 a day,
Mhm.
but they're like, but to encourage people to go during off-peak times,
We lower the prices.
we lowered the prices by like $1.50.
Yeah. We give you a can of soda on the
Yeah.
way in.
Anyway, that's not look. If
Wha-
you want to hear about those kind of spring breaks, there's a place for that, and
I
that's
really
Tim's Magic Kingdom Disney Parks podcast.
Tim, can I be on this podcast?
I think no. I think we should. Keep,
Oh.
no, I think we should just keep things separate. We don't want to confuse people.
I've been-
I don't want you coming on and people being like, "Oh, this is one of those lowbrow shows." Like the
I've,
weekend.
I've been wanting to go to Disney World a lot lately.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I ask why?
I don't know why. I just, you know what? The last time I went to a Disney park was Disneyland in California.
Okay.
And I was blown away by the fact that actual people live not that far from Disneyland.
yeah, Anaheim. It's
Yeah.
magical,
And
from what I understand.
they buy season passes and they just go there and hang out.
Yeah, but like, there's better places to go hang out.
Then Disneyland? Were you out of your mind?
What was there to do in Disneyland that
What
was really
was there
good?
to do in Tim?
All right, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Tim, you know what? I don't want to be on this podcast anymore because now I don't even know how it could be that good.
I'm in college co-ed spring break mode. I'm trying to be getting the mindset of some 19-year-old
Uh-huh.
doofus.
Yeah.
So for me, nah, that doesn't sound cool. Actually, no. My lovely girlfriend and I,
Mhm.
we have tickets, plane tickets. We were gonna go on a trip. We had to cancel the trip, so now we
Yeah.
have these credits
Oh, okay.
on an airline that does not fly to very many places. Virgin America,
Right.
foremost airline for virgins.
Mhm.
And they fly to like 5 places in America, and one of them was Orlando.
Yeah.
And like we got to spend these vouchers soon before they expire.
Mm.
I'm like, let's go to Orlando.
Yeah, go to Disney World. I'll come. This is great.
She had a good point. She's like, good idea in theory.
Mm-hmm.
Just like 2 childless people in their 30s walking around Disney World. A little weird.
It's
Let's
not
not.
weird, and you could also just every once in a while pretend like you're looking for your lost child,
But yeah,
and then people will be fine with it.
I did that once when I had to buy a shirt in the boys department of Macy's.
Well, Tim, no, that's how you get arrested.
Well, it fit me better at the time. I was svelte.
You're a husky.
Anyway. Yeah, so no, Tom, I don't think you should go to Disney
You'd
World.
be fine going. I shouldn't go, but if you're going with your girlfriend, that's fine. Nobody's
That's
going to be like,
weird. I was
it's
there.
not weird.
I went a few years ago, like
Mhm.
a big extended family, kind of like a family reunion thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird. It was like I felt like even though there were like children in the family, like
Right.
when I went off with like the people my own age, it's like this is not for me. I shouldn't be here. This is wrong. I gotta go.
You're being too neurotic
I
about
should
it.
steal that person's phone and wallet.
Uh,
All these purses just out for the taking. God.
Because when I was at Disneyland, I was there with only adults only.
Yeah, Disneyland, I feel, is different. 'Cause
It
you
is
can
a little
You can just
different.
pop in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go
There's
on the Dumbo ride.
go on the Dumbo ride a dozen times.
No, what did you do there? Seriously. You went on Pirates of the Caribbean, which is awesome.
Yeah, went on Pirates. Went on the Cars ride, which was awesome.
Okay. I know
Um,
you're a big fan of the Cars movies, particularly Cars 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, but that's...
Peter Pan.
Okay.
It was fun. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It was like taking LSD, Tim. It was
Yeah.
like having an acid trip.
Wow.
I don't know. I went on all the rides.
Yeah, okay. Like one time...
roller coaster. I forget what it was called.
Like Space Mountain?
No, it was an outdoor one.
Thunder
I did go on
Mountain
Space
Railroad?
Mountain too, though.
Tom, here's what I'm
Star
saying.
Tours, Captain EO. I went on.
They have that there?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying. So you go and did that. That was all one day.
Yeah.
What do you buy season pass for? You could do that like every day, every week.
Yeah.
Every Saturday I go and ride all these rides. I think I would do that. All right. Anyway.
Because you can go there during off-peak times, and you can just hang out, and you can be like, you know what, I'm really in the mood for. Tim, how many days you walking around going, hey, you know what, really turn this day around, a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, but like Disney roller coasters are. Like,
This one was good, Tim. It did upside down and everything.
Did they have Aerosmith's Rock and Roller
They
Coaster?
did not have
See,
Aerosmith.
that's why.
Yeah,
I
well, I'm
might
not
go.
going to move to Orlando.
Maybe you should move to Orlando.
All right, it's settled. I'm moving to Orlando.
Great, I'll visit you. I got vouchers for a plane trip.
What we're-
Welcome back to the coolest spring break podcast there is.
All right, so we're not talking about that kind of family spring break.
Listen to my other podcast. Maybe Tom will be a guest if he
Maybe.
can clean up his potty mouth.
Right, and if you can change your opinion on Disneyland.
I never said.
Is this like a skeptic's guide to
I
Disneyland?
never said it was a pro Disney
Yeah.
podcast. It's just about the park. It's not negative.
You know any of these people, though? We'll get back to spring break in a minute.
Yeah.
Who are just like weird Disney World obsessed people that like that's the only vacations they take, and they go there like a lot.
I know people like that who are surprisingly not weird.
Mhm.
People who have like gone to Disney World like twice a year and just like, yeah, shut up, I like it.
Yeah.
And I understand it.
I know somebody that somebody that I worked with a long, long time ago.
What's their name?
that half
What's their first and last name?
half their posts on Facebook are like kind of they're like slightly racist like tirades about, you know, whatever is in the news, and the other half are like Me and my wife got our custom Mickey Mouse
Oh,
mailbox
yeah. Oh,
today.
my God,
and
yeah.
yeah.
You think everybody that goes there is like, I'm a good person because I
Well,
like
you
wholesome
think it would
entertainment.
rub it off on them a little bit?
No, I'm mad at this Disney World commercial, and we'll get to spring break in a second. I'm mad at this Disney World commercial that I think gives children false hope. It's this family at Disney World, and they're all like, "What do we do today?" And like this
Go
one
to
kid's
Disney
like,
World.
"I want to go on a magic carpet ride," and they show like a Aladdin ride or something, and
Right.
another kid's like, "I want to go," and they all have like these elaborate like fantasies, but like Disney fantasies,
Right.
And
But it's always like allow one-on-one time with characters, probably, right?
no,
like
this
going
isn't
on
what they were
rides
saying.
with characters.
This is not.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like things that would never happen.
Yeah, that was always misleading to me as a kid.
Yeah, I felt like the characters would be everywhere, and they weren't everywhere.
Yeah,
They-
I went
they-
to the characters breakfast. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
You
But
get
anyway,
you
we're
get some
getting-
autographs.
We're getting off track here. So this and they're talking to the lady. I think at the hotel while they're
Okay.
checking in.
How long's this commercial? It tells the whole story.
No, because it's really quick. They didn't go off on tangents like we
All
are.
right.
They were like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And they're like, and then the dad or whatever, whoever's in charge, was like, well, can you make that happen? And the lady working at the counter or whatever is like, let me see what I can do.
Uh-huh.
And then you see from the little girl's perspective, and she's looking up at her, and the woman behind the counter, she has like fairy wings, that like flutter, and the little girl sees them briefly, right?
Uh-huh.
Like it was like it's like these kids are gonna go to Disney World thinking that there's actual fairies working there. If I was a kid, I'd be like,
well, what's the damage that could do?
because like when they get to the check-in at the hotel,
Yeah.
they're just gonna be disappointed. They're gonna be like, this is not what I was led to believe the hotel check-in would be like.
Well, I don't think they.
The process is way different. This man just ran my father's credit card
Yeah.
and said, "Have a magical stay."
Yeah.
He
You
said
don't
that
know.
at
Maybe
the
they.
Holiday Inn.
Maybe they've got maybe they've got some kind of electronic contraption that looks like
Well, I
a
hope
fairy
so, for
flying
the
around.
children's sake.
Well, that's mighty big of you.
I just wanna look. I just want the magic. Look, do you remember how devastating it was when you went there? And it's like, I'm not gonna be able to ride on Dumbo with like
Dumbo.
yeah, or with Goofy even.
Yeah. I invited some of the characters during the character breakfast to come on rides with me later that day, and they were their silence said everything.
Yeah. What did you think of the character? I wasn't sure if they were real or not. I knew they were.
For you,
I knew they were the cartoons.
right.
No, I was.
You knew they weren't the cartoons. What did you think they were? Like
that
who
was,
the cartoons were based on?
No, I understood. Like I'm shaking hands with Pluto.
You were
right?
shaking hands with them.
Yeah.
So you were young enough that you didn't know if it was a real thing or not, but you were still buttoned up enough to not give
I'm a
a hug
professional, Tom.
or a high five, a shake.
I'm going in there, and I know, like, all right, I've seen these cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what I'm like. I'm 23 years old. Like, graduated college, should be networking.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's a cartoon or some sort of real life animal. I don't know what's going
Right,
on.
if it's dangerous or not.
Yeah, so I you go palms out, right, and then
Yeah.
you shake their hands, and then it's just confusing. It's confusing for kids, I think. Today's sponsor is Casper Mattresses, obsessively engineered American-made mattresses at a shockingly fair price. And now you can get $50 toward any mattress purchase by going to casper.com/guide and using code GUIDE.
Easy to remember.
Listen, Tom, listen to me for once in your life.
Okay.
You spend about a third of your life sleeping, and we've established you a lot more.
Yeah, probably half at least.
Let's, the two of us, make sure you're doing it on a good mattress. Casper brings together two comfy technologies for better nights and brighter days. Latex foam and memory foam. Tom, what kind of foams are there?
Latex and memory.
There you go. So they've got just the right sink, just the right bounce, no matter how you sleep. They've got a risk-free trial and return policy. They'll deliver it straight to you. You can try for 100 days.
It's a long time. You'd know by then if you want it or not.
And if you're not happy, they'll pick it right back up. At the store, maybe you'll get a minute to try their mattresses, and that's
and some guy's watching you like, do you like it?
I'm overweight with a mustache, and I'm looking at you. With Casper, you'll actually get to sleep on it.
Yeah.
100 days.
They won't let you do that in the store.
No. It's $500 for a twin-size mattress and $950 for a king-size mattress. That's a mattress fit for a king, Tom.
Yeah.
Comparing that to industry averages, which I have, that's an outstanding price point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So get $50 toward any mattress purchase by going to casper.com/guide and using code GUIDE. Terms and conditions apply, baby.
All right, Tim. Let's get.
I'm checking my phone.
Yeah, don't check your phone, Tim. You're not on spring break yet.
I know.
Still got more work to do.
I got one more midterm exam.
Did you ever go on spring break when you were in college?
Not once in my
Me
whole
neither.
life.
And I don't know why I didn't have money in college, but it never even occurred to me.
I don't.
And I knew other people that went on spring break, and it just seemed like something that I just never even thought about the possibility of me going on spring break.
I just felt like I was not that kind of person. Like that was
party animal.
Yeah, big fat party animal.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people that I knew went.
Yeah. But some people did go on, they didn't go to the hot spots, but they still took a trip.
Yeah.
With friends and did something fun.
No, I also went to college in New York City, Tom.
Yeah.
And one of the perks of that was our dorms were open throughout
the break.
Right.
Right.
And that was also the case over the winter break between semesters and stuff.
Oh.
So
that was not the case at my school.
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of nice to be like, hey, I'm just in New York City with nothing
off
to do for a week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that in and of itself is a vacation. I didn't do anything.
I was going to say,
I slept till noon and played video games or something. I don't know what I have no idea. I can't account for my life between the ages of 16 and 33.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember spring break kind of being a pain in the ass because I went to school away and it was just well, you can't stay here. You got to go back home for, a week. And I'd be like, all right, well, now I got to spend money to get home. And then...
Your family doesn't love you.
No, they want nothing to do with it. They were like, we thought we sent you away.
Yeah, get out of here, you scout. Your mom chased you out with a broom.
And there was nobody else. My school had spring break a week early or a week late. I forget which it was, but nobody was around.
That's probably good for the rates to Cancun, though.
Yeah, which I should have checked out. Instead, I just went home every time and just,
Probably hung out at my dorm.
Yeah, I did come hang out at your dorm.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Remember that one time our friends went out drinking all night and then brought back a heroin addict named Mac?
Yeah, he had yellow eyes.
Yeah, Mac did have yellow eyes.
Tim, I want to go through some of the spring break hotspots.
Great.
Number 1. This is within the U.S.
Wait, we're starting with number 1?
Starting with number... I don't think they're in any particular order.
Now, how are they ranked by...
numbers.
Bikini babes? Number of bikini babes.
No. You know what, Tim? I don't think they're ranked.
Okay.
Number 1. Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach, Florida.
Daytona Beach in Florida hits 80-degree averages during spring break, has tons of cheap hotels, and a big red party bus that runs along the beach.
And a racetrack.
Yeah. Filled with students during the much-beloved weeks of March and April. There's always a party waiting to be found at the boardwalk, beach, or local club scenes. With Kayak offering hotel rooms starting in the $40 range, a trip to Daytona is sure to accommodate your budget. $40
for a hotel room?
For a hotel room during the peak season.
I mean, they know that they have to just, get a bunch of crappy college kids in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're like, we'll jack up the prices because like all these poor idiots are coming here.
But I mean, what do those hotels do when there aren't
when was that written?
This is brand new, Tim. This is last year's.
So
It's
certainly
a
not
year-
brand.
Yeah, well, they didn't change the prices in a year.
Tom,
Or they
what
didn't
did you
change them that
just learn
dramatically.
about variable pricing, surge pricing?
Well, these people in Daytona, they're good, honest people, Tim. They don't do the surge.
Okay. Are they all going to be like this?
What?
Like you're just going to tell me like actual like Daytona Beach. I don't know anything about Daytona Beach. I know
Well,
about
but
the,
now you do, Tim.
the
That it's
Daytona
about
500. Do you
it's
get to
about
watch?
in the 80s, 80-degree range.
Yeah, I would think that if you were going to the beach for
Tim, you can go to
a
the beach in New
vacation.
York and it right now, and it's not that warm.
All right.
Think about it, dummy.
All right. What's next? If this is like Miami Beach.
Number 2, Tim.
Temperatures in the 80s.
Number 2, and this is a place I've been. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. If you're looking for a mecca of spring breakers and white sand beaches, book your ticket now for Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Along with the breathtaking beach, the popular Senor Frogs offers a live DJ music scene. And the Family Kingdom Amusement Park has dozens of beachside rides for your enjoyment. And with hotels such as the Sheraton and Hilton offering
Wow.
booking prices of $80 to $100, luxury lodging is a steal. Oceanfront motels are also around the $50 range if you're trying to pinch a penny.
Tom, why are you doing this? Is this helping?
Yeah, Tim,
anybody?
it's letting people know where the hot spots are.
I think they can just look this up. Like I've heard of Myrtle Beach. I know that's where, like, kids go on spring break. Myrtle
Tim,
Beach
it's not where
sounds.
kids go on spring break. It's where you go if you're looking for a mecca of spring breakers and white sand beaches.
Yeah, I've been to Myrtle Beach. I don't remember any of that.
You don't remember
I went
beaches?
to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all I remember.
Yeah, because after that, it was all downhill.
What
It
do you
was
mean?
all just a wild blur of spring break good times.
Okay. I didn't go on spring break. I went during the summer one time.
Yeah.
I didn't have a great
Summer break.
experience. I got very sunburned.
Yeah, on those white sand beaches.
I don't remember the sand being white, Tom.
Yeah, that's why you got so burnt. It was reflecting all the sun back.
Okay.
Tim, number 3. South Padre Island, Texas.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I had a hard time finding a picture of South Padre Island during spring break that was PG.
So what does that mean?
This
Because I'll tell you
destination-
this, Tom. There were Police Academy, Miami Beach.
Assignment Miami Beach.
Assignment Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Was rated PG. But it had topless women in it.
That doesn't happen nowadays.
I know. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, if his, like,
Well,
it
yeah.
must have been pretty bad if it was more than just topless women.
But here's the thing, Tim. Showing a topless woman in a movie is one thing. Putting a picture
On the internet?
is another. Because you can look at that picture as long as you'd like. But when it's up on the big screen, it's like blink and you miss it.
Yeah, but what about art?
Guess you're gonna
Sometimes
have
I've
to
been
buy
to,
another
to
ticket.
art galleries.
Well, yeah,
and
but
you
the-
can look at those things as long as you like.
Yeah, but this guy's not going to put a picture of art in this and be like,
Bunch
here.
of leered perverts like at the Louvre. Just like, yo, yeah. Imagine there was like a line around the block outside like the Metropolitan Museum of Art, just of like creepo pervs, like before it opens every morning, just like, yeah,
Cheapskate pervs.
yeah, exactly. They don't know how to use a computer at the library.
I mean, I'm sure that there is a contingent of people who are like that, weirdos.
Yeah, probably. Like, do you think they're known amongst like?
Yeah,
the security
no, I was
guards?
going to say, I bet like if you ask the security guards, like, hey, anybody ever come in here and do anything weird? They'd be like, oh my God, have I got stories to tell you.
Oh man, I'd like to befriend a guard at an art museum because also, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
you'll learn about the perverts. But then you have an in if you're ever gonna do a heist.
Pull a heist.
Yeah.
But that's where I think it might be hard to befriend them in the first place because they're probably trained against befriending patrons
Yeah, but I think this is our in.
in case
Because we'll
it's-
be like, hey, we had this weird idea that a bunch of perverts came in here. And
he'd be
also,
like, nobody's ever asked me.
yeah, exactly. He'll be like, these guys must be legitimately interested in
And
me
while
for
you're
once in my
talking
life.
to him, I'm walking behind him with a painting, and he doesn't even know.
Yeah, you got the dang
Mona
Mona
Lisa.
Lisa. That's the only painting either of us could name.
Well, it's the most valuable one. If you're going to steal one, steal the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what, Tom? The Mona Lisa might have been stolen.
It was one time.
No, but it might have never been recovered.
Yeah, they think it might be a fake that they have.
A forgery,
Yeah.
which makes you think, like, well, then what is art? If that is now the one that we're all agreeing is the one,
Yeah.
well, then maybe the intrinsic value can be transferred.
Maybe Vince Van Gogh's Starry Night was stolen, and they just put a poster from the dorm room sale up there. Nobody noticed.
Yeah. Same with that John Belushi poster. We don't know what the original one is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This destination, I'm talking about South Padre Beach again, South Padre Island
Oh
again.
my God.
This destination is not for the faint of heart. But that being said, if you're looking for your own debauchery-filled vacation, this is your
No.
place. This island is filled with, quote, bars that emphasize character rather than class.
Wait, what?
If you're up for the adventure, Snoop Dogg and David Guetta
David Allen Greer.
are
Guetta.
are also rumored to perform during this year's festivities.
Last year.
You can book a room at a decent chain hotel here for hardly anything.
Yeah, because it's in Texas.
The Ramada has rooms going for $55. The Super 8 has rooms for $41. It's not 4 stars, but how much time are you really going to be staying in your room anyway? No.
Tom, I would you have you ever been to San Pedro?
South Padre Island, Tim.
Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
Well, then why are we talking about this?
Because I'm trying to figure
Snoop
out where
Dogg-
we are going to go.
Look, how debauched could it be if, like, corporate shill Snoop Dogg's gonna be there,
Yeah,
right?
He might be smoking weed.
What?
Yeah, he does it sometimes.
Ugh.
And he curses sometimes,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, I didn't know he smoked pot. I
Yeah.
didn't know that was
Well, he tries to keep it secret.
Yeah, he
tries to
does.
keep it under his hat.
it's as long as it doesn't affect his art, as long as like everything he does doesn't start to revolve around it.
Number
That'll be
4, Tim.
Tom, please don't read another one.
A
of
number 4, another hotspot, Atlantic City, New Jersey.
these. Oh no, the Atlantic City's like it when it was thriving. I went there and was like, oh, I think I'll probably kill myself here. And now it's like the closest thing that could have been considered classy shut down. What
What?
was that one?
Oh, the something.
We went there.
Yeah. It was open for like
Tom,
a few months.
this episode
Uh-huh.
is really pulling into focus how much time you and I spend together.
Because we were in Myrtle Beach together.
Yeah.
We've been to Atlantic City together multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I've never had a good time in Atlantic
No,
City.
me neither. I hate it. It's maybe one of the worst places in the world.
It is disgusting there. Tom, please don't read this.
But while your instinct may be telling you to go south for spring break, don't forget about Atlantic City. It's cheap and easy to get a room with a water view at this destination, and the gaming and casino scene can keep you occupied for hours. Also, don't forget about the boardwalk, live music shows, and nightclubs.
Live music shows, huh?
And did I
Wow.
mention they all have pools?
I would go in a pool.
I don't
like
think I ever noticed a pool whenever I've been to Atlantic City.
Yeah, me neither. Tom, you don't gamble, right?
No,
Yeah.
I don't like it. As soon as I lose, I'm like, this is stupid, and I stop.
You're not like, oh, I can get that back.
No.
These sons of bitches aren't going to take me for all my money. There's no way that could happen.
No, and if I lose like $20, it will bother me for I will try and figure out like what can I steal to like even this out to
For
get retribution on this casino.
somebody's wallet or a purse.
No, because I don't want retribution on another patron. I want it on.
Yeah, they're all scum anyway. They're trash. Let's go there during spring break. Steal all these phone wallet combos from the trashy kids.
I don't think anybody in Atlantic City has a cell phone.
That's not true.
Not when you'd want to steal.
You could steal a lot of oxygen tanks, though.
Yep. And cigarette butts.
That's somebody's life.
What? Going to Atlantic City?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of people's lives.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Well,
Have you ever been to Vegas?
no, I have never been
That's
to Vegas.
another possible destination
It's not on
from
my list.
Virgin America that I could get tickets to.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever want to go to Vegas.
But if you're on a Virgin flight, it's going to be empty.
Going to Vegas.
Yeah.
No, well, on the way there, it'll be full, but on the way back,
Right.
yeah.
They're not going to let people on
they'd
the
be
plane.
like, hey, how many of you went to the Bunny Ranch? I freaking hate that culture of Vegas where it's like, hey, come here and be a disgusting human and we won't tell.
And we won't tell. We'll just take all the money we can possibly get out
but
of you.
don't worry, you'll be able to like be mean to homeless people. Like you could punch a homeless man and face no consequences.
Is that true?
Pretty much. I think. I think that's true. Like, unfortunately, in most cities in America. Yeah.
It's also weird that and this is why Atlantic City's never really suckered me, that places like Vegas, everything money is different. Like everything's on a different scale.
Yeah.
And I think it's just kind of like they're so just like upfront about it and present such a consistent front that people don't question it.
They're like, oh yeah, things are just absurd here.
Yeah, well, everything's just 5 times as expensive here. I
Ah.
guess that's just what it is.
If I get mad, I'll go assault a homeless man and face
Well,
no consequences.
And it's just, I'll just accept this. I don't make 5 times as much money while I'm here.
You
but
do sometimes. One
yeah.
time I went to Atlantic City, pulled that magical lever, and made $2,300
Yeah.
in one pull.
So how can you hate Atlantic City if one time you were the big winner?
Because that one time,
Mhm.
you know this story, right?
Yeah.
We tried to a bunch of us tried to convince you to go.
Yeah, and I said, no, I don't want to go
Yeah.
because I didn't like Atlantic City.
Right. And like it was one of those dopey things you do when you're like 25 where it's
Mhm.
just like, let's drive 3 hours there. It's midnight? We'll do it anyway. And so we
Yeah.
got there like 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 people I was with all had a different sob story. Like, oh, I left my credit card somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, my bank account's being weird. I can't get any money out. And then
Mhm.
the third person was probably just like asleep or drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, let's go home
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not giving you guys money. I know you're gonna
Yeah.
try to borrow money
Yeah.
from me.
Don't lend
Quote,
people
borrow money.
Yeah. Don't lend people money in a casino.
Yeah, and I put I was like, I'm gonna play this slot for 5 minutes. I'm gonna put this $10 in,
Uh-huh.
and on like a $2 thing, and
Yeah.
my third pull, all them lovely bells and dings went off, my friend.
Yeah.
And then the lady came and counted out $2,300 for me.
2,300 smackers.
And then I was like, let's get the fuck out of Atlantic City because I'm with 3 broke idiots.
Yeah.
And,
who are all going to be like,
yeah.
hey, why don't we
Yeah.
why don't we get a suite?
Yeah. So.
Why don't we see if we can double that money?
And I've been back a couple times since, and
Mhm.
it's just like, oh, this is what a dying city looks like.
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
Now it's dead though, right?
I think so.
I don't think anything's open there anymore. But it is a spring break hotspot.
How about them white sand beaches, baby?
No, that's Myrtle Beach, you idiot.
Tom,
Mm-hmm.
after all that stuff I talked about Las Vegas,
Yeah.
there is an unbeatable deal
Mm.
that I think you and I legally can take part in.
what are the deals that we can't take part
and
in?
likely should take part in. I don't think it's. I look. I'm not paying $40 to stay at some flea bag motel in
Yeah,
Texas.
but you can legally do it.
I know, but it's not. This
Mm-hmm.
an official, vouched for experience.
Okay.
The Palms Casino Resort,
Mm-hmm.
host to the Real World Las Vegas,
Mm.
and the 2007 MTV VMAs.
Wow.
Uh,
We all remember those.
the Palms is the hotel for the MTV generation, Tom.
Because 10 years ago, there were two things there.
9 years ago. And I don't know when the Real World Las
I
Vegas.
think it was
could have been the late
longer.
90s.
Yeah.
MTV Spring Break, baby.
Okay.
Starting at $264 per person. That's respectable.
Per night?
Yeah, I think.
That's
4 per room.
Okay.
So wow, that is kind of expensive. All right, this is good so far. But you're at the hotel for the MTV generation. You get VIP, very important person entry, and free admission to MTV concerts and celebrity pool parties. Is Ariana Grande going to be there? Maybe. I don't know.
Who do you think is at celebrity pool parties?
I don't know. Maybe Selena Gomez.
No.
Maybe Justin Bieber's going to be there.
No, Justin Bieber's not going to be there. None of these people are going to be. None of these people are like, you know what I really love? The 2007 VMAs.
Carson Daly and Dave Holmes might be there.
No, they don't work for MTV anymore.
Chris Hardwick and Jenny McCarthy. You also get exclusive invites to private MTV parties and events. Celebrity events, probably.
Yeah. I would love to, because it sounds like if the last MTV event that was in 2007, that this hotel cannot have any more like ties to MTV.
VIP entry and free admission to day parties at the Palms Pool.
Or is this where they have MTV Spring Break?
I can't figure this out.
This sounds like a scam, Tim.
It
sounds
does
like
sound like a scam.
You're getting scammed hard.
But you get a Palms Resort and Casino coupon book with $120 worth of
Oh.
savings.
Well, you know what they say about spring break. Look out for those coupon books.
Would you go to...
Tim, nothing. All right, I'll ask your question.
Pretend I'm talking to 20-year-old Tom.
Okay.
And I call you up on a landline because that's what we did back then.
I had a cell phone when I was 20.
And we're going to be like, man, wasn't 9/11 crazy a couple months ago? Right?
I could really blow off some steam.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Here's what I figure we should do.
Right.
Oh, by the way, it's Tim calling from my college to your college.
Oh, thank you, because I don't have caller ID. I couldn't know.
Right.
I didn't have a landline phone in my dorm.
Really?
Yeah.
It was too early for like
I had a
to
cell phone.
rely on cell phones.
Yeah, I relied on a cell phone.
Jeez.
They
if
charged a
something happened?
fortune. What do you mean
You're
if
so
something
cheap.
happened? A bunch of shit happened, and it's fine.
Tom, how about we escape that DC sniper that's shooting random people down there at I don't know, West Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
They're having MTV Spring Break. Like, this is where the college kids go.
Mm-hmm.
And you see
Beavis and Butthead will be there.
Yeah, you know, all the like, I know that it was and since
Mm-hmm.
like, especially recently, people who used to be affiliated with MTV, the Chris Hardwicks and the Dave Holmes of the
Mhm.
world, have talked about what a nightmare
Spring break.
Spring Break was, and like the MTV Beach House and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Why was it a nightmare? I've heard this, but
just as like people who were like a little like in their late 20s
Mhm.
and like
yeah, they just didn't want to.
they were just like not interested in debauchery and
Yeah.
stuff, and they're like they had to like host video countdowns and
Well,
stuff.
and was it tricky that it was like, well, yeah, we're selling this as like it's really a debaucherous place, but like you guys got to keep everything PG.
Yeah.
While we're filming.
I don't know. Some of that stuff. There was this one game show they had. They covered all these people in just whipped cream and made
Yeah.
them do things like
Yeah.
run around and stuff. And I remember watching this, and I was like 14, and I was like, "The hell is going on?" I'm seeing
This is the best
swinging
thing I've ever
wieners
seen.
and actual boobs
Uh-huh.
on basic cable right now.
Yeah, but when they were doing that stuff, they probably also had to like constantly cut because they were like, no, you
Stop
guys
having
can't
sex
do
on
that.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like as a debauched, let's say you're 19 or 20, right? Would you go? Would you be like, I know it, but like, if I'm ever gonna spring break, it's gonna be with my MTV pals, Jesse Camp.
No, I wouldn't, because I would assume that like I would still like get bullied there. Would I have a no bully guarantee?
No.
No, then forget it.
Yeah, because I think it might attract even worse people than normal spring break.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
it's like people are like, this is gonna be my star turn.
yeah.
Is that why we stayed away from spring break in general, Tom? Because we're freaking cowards.
Yeah, I was afraid of all those hard bodies.
Are you afraid some you as a 98-pound weakling, some guy's gonna kick sand in your face and steal your girlfriend?
Yeah, some beefcake's gonna kick sand in my face.
Is that what happened before the prom? Is this what...
Some beefcake kicked sand in my face.
Yeah. You were like, never again will I go to those white sanded beaches.
Yeah. No, I you know what? Just like the general concept of spring break just kind of didn't interest me. Like, I love the beach, but I don't like. I like the beach because I kind of like the solitude.
Yeah.
Like, I like relaxing on the beach and doing what I want to do on the beach.
Not getting pantsed by some.
If I'm getting pantsed by anybody, it's going to be a wave.
Man. Yeah.
And I'm going to walk onto the beach not noticing. No, I like going in the water for a long time and then coming out.
That's where you got your nickname in high school, Shamu.
Coming out, laying on the towel, taking a nap, getting up, maybe going and getting a treat, and then going back in the water for a bit.
Okay, this is the most boring. All right, you're not cut out for spring break. You're a loser, and me and the rest of the jocks don't want you there.
Tim, I didn't mention that sometimes, though, I would wear mirror sunglasses so I could check out babes, and they wouldn't notice I was looking.
Sicko. Let's solve a problem. Hello, and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems. My name is Tim.
Tom.
We're going to solve your problems. Tom?
Mm-hmm.
This week, we have a creepy, crawly problem. But first, if you have a problem that you'd like us to solve, you can email us at thecompleteguidetoeverything@gmail.com.
Yes.
Keep it clean, keep it short, and keep it sweet.
Doesn't have to be sweet.
No. Or
doesn't
clean.
even really have to. It doesn't. It can be not clean as long as it's not depressing.
Right. This came from Emily. Dear Tim and Tom, I live in Fort Greene, Brooklyn.
Hey, right around the corner.
Hell yeah. And about 2 weeks ago, I found a mouse in the corner of my small studio apartment. I am a wuss and initially cried at the thought of having to kill the mouse.
You were going to say, and a ninny.
Initially cried at the thought of having to kill the mouse.
Yeah.
But set 3 spin traps anyway.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, things have gotten personal, and the little bastard needs to die. Every night, he wakes me up with chewing and squeaking sounds. They start at 2 a.m. And usually don't stop until 6 a.m. I'm in grad school for architecture. We know a lot about this person. And desperately need to sleep as much as possible. I can drown out his noises with white noise, but the knowledge that he's out there still haunts me.
Yeah.
I consider myself a very clean person, and I've been on a constant cleaning rampage. After I found him chewing a bottle of canola oil in a shelf 6 inches from where I sleep at night.
Why is she sleeping so close to the canola oil?
Because she lives in the studio.
Oh, okay.
I isolated my bed from all furniture, moving everything the mouse could want into the hallway. I removed all food and refuse to eat. I removed all food and refused to eat in the apartment for fear of enticing him. Yet still he comes. I even tried a bunch of DIY, that's do-it-yourself, mouse traps involving buckets and ramps and bottle contraptions, but still nothing.
Those ones are cruel.
She bought the board game Mousetrap and was like, oh, okay, I understand. This will take all day to set up.
You know
and
about the
fail."
bucket traps?
No.
They drown the mouse or the rat.
Yikes. A rat, I don't mind drowning. A mouse.
It basically tricks the rat into going on like a tightrope, but it's like a can there. And once they go on the can, it spins and they fall into the water in the bucket and they can't get out.
How do you know about this?
I've seen them.
Last Tuesday, my building's exterminator finally came and set 3 new poison traps, bringing the total to 7.
It's a lot of traps.
He did some sleuthing, my favorite thing, and found a giant hole behind my oven where the mouse was entering.
Yeah, mouse hole.
Thinking my problem was finally solved, I got my super to fill in the hole and went to sleep feeling free.
Mm-hmm.
Last night,
You gotta fill it with steel wool.
I woke to the usual sounds across my room, only this time I turned on my lights to find my large wall tapestry rustling with a horrifying moving bulge. As you can see in the attached picture, the mouse peeked out his head 6 feet into the air to stare right at me tauntingly before running back down and behind the fridge. Tom, this picture, she took a picture for us.
Uh-huh.
Look at this tapestry. Like,
What the
halfway
hell?
up, this mouse is taunting her.
Yeah.
This mouse pokes his head out, and it's just like, hello,
Hello, it's me, Mousy.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
It's like what Mickey Mouse would do, like, oh,
If he
you're
was
probably-
a stinker.
Yeah. We should post that on that.
Yeah.
I'll forget. I slowly descended into madness. I've slowly descended into madness, and I feel like I've exhausted my options. Yeah, after all that,
Yeah.
7 traps and filling the hole, this mouse finally shows his face
Yeah.
and is like, hey, check it out. And I'm like magical, too. Like, I'll yeah. I have 9 traps currently set and 8 more snap traps on the way. Nothing will stop him. Not only is the mouse ruining my sleep, he's draining my bank account and probably causing me to lose friends with my constant mouse stories. I hope this rant wasn't too long or crazed, but as 2 fellow Brooklyn apartment dwellers, I'm sure you've had your share of mouse encounters, and I desperately need your wisdom. Thanks, Emily.
Years ago when we had an apartment together, we caught a mouse in a spin trap.
Yeah, Tom, I was so mad at you about that mouse. That
What?
mouse was in your bedroom.
Yeah. Eating all the food I kept in there.
Well, here's the thing. I was like, you should stop keeping food in your bedroom. And you did this thing where you went, I don't keep food in there. And it's like, well, why? And then you're like, then you slipped one day and you were like, I heard I'm eating food right beneath my bed, and my bed's real low to the ground. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I thought you didn't have food in your room. And you were like, no, he brought it from the kitchen.
Brought it from home.
Yeah, you tried to sell me on the fact
I didn't.
that he went to the kitchen,
Mhm.
like grabbed an apple, and dragged it back to under your bed
No,
to eat
honestly, to this day, I don't know what he was chewing on under there because I like ripped like the mattress off my bed frame and everything to like find what it was, and I couldn't find
it.
anything
You lived
that
in
was chewed
squalor,
up.
Tom. You lived in squalor.
Well, but I finally caught him.
Yeah, but I remember I'd be watching TV.
Yeah, and he would come out and look at
And
you.
there were these like French doors leading to your
Ooh la la.
yeah, exactly, to your den of squalor. And he like I'd be watching TV, and then he'd like walk out from under the doors and like catch my eye, and I'd try not to like jump,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd just look up at me, and like do something with his hands. I think it was the mouse version of giving me the finger. And then there was nothing I could do because I couldn't like start chasing him or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not like
With a-
Sylvester.
Yeah, you mean Grammy.
Yeah. So I just let him go.
Yeah.
And then you'd come home and drunk as always. I'd be like, Tom, that mouse came out of your room again. And you'd be like, there's no mouse.
Shut up, you.
Yeah. It
Um,
was a rough time in my life.
Man, if she's got so the spin trap's the one that worked. I had a mouse in this apartment like one time, and I bought a bunch of humane traps.
Human traps.
No. And
They're good enough to catch a human. They're good enough to catch a mouse. Is what I say.
and I was also really mad at my dog for like, hey, why are you letting another animal in here?
Yeah.
Like,
What's
what?
wrong with your dog?
Yeah, not a mouser. So I put all those traps out, but the mouse never came back. Never saw it again. So took care of itself.
Huh. I mean, I feel like 90% of my problems just take care of themselves eventually.
Yeah. No, I actually think it was like the people next door to me were gone for a long time. And I think there was like something in there that the mouse was getting at.
So what do you think Emily should do?
She's got all those traps. You can maybe get one of those noise emitters that emits like a high pitched noise to keep pests away.
Really? They have those?
Yeah, I couldn't get that. I was in a lot of trouble because I have a dog. Like
right.
That's why I got humane, or else I'd come home to like 4 paws and mouse traps.
Yeah, that'd be pretty adorable.
So and I couldn't get the and like my
And her tail.
yeah. And my thing too was like, I don't even like, I live in a fairly big apartment building where I'm like, I don't even want to catch this thing. I just want it to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Just
'Cause
stay out of
you're
my place.
Not a good person.
Just stay out of my place. So I looked into those noise things, but it would have also driven my dog crazy. So you can get those. She already made the really horrific drowning trap. The spin traps work.
I feel like if you have a studio apartment,
Mm-hmm.
it's not in New York City, in
Mhm.
Fort Greene, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I've known people that lived in studio apartments in Fort Greene. I don't think anybody that doesn't mean anything, but I'm sure it's a small apartment.
Yeah.
And it's not too small, not too big, that you can't get sticky paper
For the whole.
for the entire floor.
Well, you wouldn't
And then
even
you
need the
just
whole
go,
floor. You
"Nope,
just need
yeah."
along the wall.
Nope, the entire
Well,
apartment.
then how's
sticky
she going to
floor.
get around?
Because she puts down the last piece as she steps into bed.
Oh, so just one night. I mean, the thing is,
Because that mouse is going to come.
yeah, and you probably could buy like industrial sticky paper or something.
Yeah.
So, don't buy the individual ones because that's going to cost you a lot. But if you're buying like a roll of it, it's probably cheap.
Yeah. I say you set that for 1 or 2 nights,
But-
you're set.
Yeah, except you're not set, Tim, because you showed me a picture where the mouse was on the wall.
Yeah, but the mouse has to get the wall some. Okay, you know what? Sticky paper on
Fuck
the
it.
walls too. Yeah, right.
Then where does it end, Tim? The ceiling?
Fine, go for it, Tom. It's
Mhm.
only so big a studio apartment in
Yeah.
Fort Greene could be.
Sure.
You just one night, just go all out.
Yeah.
Make a day of it.
You gotta
And then you get a hammer. You just bash that thing's skull in because
bash
it
its
can't.
brains in.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare you?
I wonder if she's gotten to the point where like she's hunting it, like where she's like sitting there waiting with like a way to trap it.
I think that she's definitely like this is clearly all she thinks about.
Yeah.
I think the sticky paper is your best bet. Put it everywhere.
I mean, it sounds like he's not falling for traps. So then you got to make the
If
whole
you
place a
cover
trap.
every square inch of that place
Yeah.
with sticky paper,
What the hell is it going after if she's got everything in the hallway and traps out that presumably have food in them?
it's messing
Is the
with
food missing? Is he getting the food
her.
and the
It's
traps are?
messing with her.
Yeah.
He's toying. This is a sadistic mouse.
Yeah.
The only way to do it is to wallpaper and carpet your whole apartment with the stickiest substance you
The
can
stickiest sticky paper. Honey.
find. Yeah. And then just bash the crap out of this mouse.
Yeah.
I would never be able to do that. I wouldn't know what to do with a mouse that I caught alive.
Yeah.
You would just like put it out in your hallway for a neighbor to
release it into.
you put it in a
neighbor.
mailbox at the end of the street. You fuck the mailman. He's a dickhead.
Yeah, I know. The mailman's great, Tim.
Not the mailman that picks up from here.
Oh, yeah, the mailman that, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, my plan was just to then take that humane trap and put it down the garbage chute.
You're terrible. You are the most selfish
What?
person.
It would have probably been fine.
All right.
Rats love garbage.
Yeah.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us at completeguideeverything@gmail.com. You can find out more on our website, tcgt.com. You can support the show by doing your Amazon shopping at tcgt.com/Amazon or tcgt.com/pledge, where you can learn more about being a patron of the show. This week, our patrons get an amazing fact about human biology, a mini podcast about
They get one every week,
I
Tom.
get one every week.
This
and
was
you
our
get,
71st episode.
you get all the old ones, too, when you
Plus,
sign
there
up.
was one episode of Amazing Butts.
You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. You can follow us on Twitter @complete guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Tom Reynolds.
You forgot your name there for a second. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Stop trying to talk over my handle, Tom. @YourPalTim.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, Reddit. What's our subreddit?
Reddit.com/r/TCGTE.
I'd like to get some more convos going on there.
Yeah.
Because I'm answering all the questions, Tom. Somebody asks a question, I'll answer.
You should do an AMA.
I'm not going to do an AMA. There's certainly not enough the questions. But go there.
Yeah.
Like it.
A lot
do
of
it.
fun.
Yeah. What else?
Spring break.
Snapchat.
Yeah,
Are you on Snapchat, Tom?
I am.
I've never
I don't really use it all that much.
I've
though.
never posted anything on Snapchat. But
But follow you anyway.
no, don't follow me. Follow it's Charlie's Charlie Brand. We'll figure out what his thing is.
What, you're just recommending a friend Snapchat?
Yeah, it made me laugh today.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Charlie could use the followers, right?
Oh, that's disrespectful.
It's like a little disrespectful.
Anything else? Any other friends handles you'd like to plug?
Who out of all your friends
Mm-hmm.
do you think is actually good at like Twitter?
Me.
No, come on.
Nobody.
Nobody, right?
No.
The only.
No, but I'm not
The only
going
people
to
that
recommend somebody and then everybody else is going to be like, oh, what about me?
Well, no, you can't even think of one.
No, look at who I follow. I don't follow friends that...
You do though. Like you follow AJ. Do you think AJ's great
Yeah.
on Twitter?
Yeah. I think
AJ's a
he's
great
funny.
guy, but he's not great on Twitter.
Yeah, but he doesn't use it. He doesn't tweet about like what his lunch is. When he tweets, it's funny. I don't follow friends on Twitter unless I think that they are funny or enjoyable in some way.
Well, yeah, of course they're your friends.
No,
Who's an example of a friend that you don't follow on Twitter?
I'd prefer not to say.
We'll bleep it. Say it.
No, I'm
Why
not going
not?
to trust you to believe it.
No, you'll bleep it.
No,
You're
then I'm
editing
not.
this week.
Then consider it bleeped already.
Oh, God damn it. See, your whole Twitter philosophy is fucked up. My thing is, nobody's good on Twitter except for like mid-level comedians that I don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I've been following a lot of them lately, and they're great. That's who I recommend on Twitter.
Great, thank you so much for that recommendation.
People that have like 4,000 followers but are like the funniest people.
What a great recommendation.
Tom, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, you're not even saying a name. You're just like, here's my criteria.
You didn't say a name.
Yeah, because I would refuse to be put on the spot by you.
Yeah, you're full of shit. You're trying to be diplomatic. Be mean to your friends on this thing. It's fine. They don't listen.
All right, we'll see you next week.